Stargate Finance is one of those projects that is keeping me awake at night. On one hand, I really like this project and I want to have a piece of it, but on the other hand, there's some very concerning things. So if this video sounds contradictory, this is the main reason. But as usual, we're gonna look into both sides of the coin, and also I'm gonna share what my plan is and what the future price of this token I believe it could be. Let's jump right into it. Stargate is one of the oldest, if not the oldest bridge out there, and it's also based on the layer 0 ecosystem. This is very important to know. I'll probably in the future do another separate video for layer 0. It's great technology and it will be the backbone of multi-chain future in crypto. You can stake this token, you can provide liquidity and gain rewards, but most importantly, you can transfer assets between different blockchains and layer 2 solutions. And I think there are a bunch of networks that you can swap between. They recently just added Metis, and as you can see here, all the main players are right here. And you can swap one-to-one stable coins between networks, which I think is very important. And that brings me to the first thing that I really like about this project. The interface is very simple. I have personally used it several times. The platform hasn't been hacked unlike many other bridges. And just the simple interface and everything about it screams at me that I want to use this project. And to be honest, I personally prefer it compared to other bridges, like for example Synapse, which I also have a review on. Also, the assets arrive quite fast, and there's a very cool feature here. I don't know if you have any experience with DeFi, but you can set some gas to be sent to the destination chain. If for example you're brand new to this and you have only Ethereum network and you want to transfer some, let's say, to Polygon, but you don't have the gas there, so if you just have the USDT, you cannot make pretty much anything. So even just to swap USDT to Matic on their own network, you need some gas in Matic, and Stargate allows you to send some destination gas, which is pretty cool and makes for a seamless experience. Also, they have another very important feature here, which is staking, and the staking actually is involved in voting. So the token is used primarily for voting, but also you have some revenue sharing, which is very little in my opinion. It's not nearly enough to what I consider to be valuable for the user, but they do have this. And in general, when I see projects that have revenue sharing, if you know me already a little bit, you know that I really like those kind of projects. Another key metric that I want to look into for every single project is the daily active users. And here on Token Terminal that is showing the most used dApps, you will see that Stargate has around 2,000 daily active users. It's not on the top of the list compared to, let's say, OpenSea and Uniswap, where they have 50,000 daily active users, but also it's not at the bottom of the list. So for me, the fact that it's on this list and it's close to GMX, which is another project that I really like, it's a very good sign. This means that it's in the sweet spot of having enough users and having the potential to grow quite a bit. And the project also consistently scores high on total value locked, which I think is also very important. If we look at again the token terminal graph, you'll see that Stargate has around 470 million in total value locked, and it's in the middle of the leaders here on this dashboard. There's plenty of space for growth. Lido Finance is up first with around 9 billion in total value locked, and to be honest, I don't think that Stargate is less important than Lido. So once more layer 2 solutions on Ethereum come out, I think Stargate and bridges like Stargate will play even more significant role in the entire ecosystem, and this of course could result in a lot of gains for their token holders. The last thing that I wanted to point out, and I think it's very important, is the reissuance of STG. This was voted on the DAO here. And the main reason for this is because Alameda Research purchased around 10% of the entire token supply here. And we all know what happened with Alameda, and there are some rumors that their wallets have been hacked. So the STG token has a risk of just being dumped on the community. So what they decided to do is on March 15, 2023 to reissue all of the tokens of STG, and the treasury of this project will hold this supply of 10% until there's a resolution with Alameda. I think this is avoiding a black swan for them, or more like a gray swan, because this is a known event, and it's a very good move on the project. At least for the foreseeable future, this means that the total supply will be reduced by 10%. But this also brings me to some of the not so good parts that are keeping me awake at night when it comes to STG, and it's related to their tokenomics. While they do have a fixed supply of 1 billion, a significant amount of the tokens are dedicated to the team and to the investors. Okay, from these 17%, let's exclude the 10% that were the Alameda tokens. Probably at some point they will be unlocked, but that will be further in the future. However, if we look at the release schedule, you'll be able to see that somewhere in March of this year, the unlock for the investors and for the owners will start. And there hasn't been many announcements on what is going to happen with these tokens. Although Stargate is very good at communicating, they have regular community calls, there are many projects that work with them, and they're first to announce this on their Twitter. This is really good. You want to see projects being so transparent and having so many partnerships with the ecosystem of crypto. However, nowhere I have seen any information about what is going to happen with these tokens once they get unlocked. And combine this with the very low fees on the platform, and actually if we go back to token terminal and if we select the fees here, you'll be able to see that Stargate is nowhere to be found on this list. And this could also be a pro because it's a seamless experience for the end user and you're not paying a ton of fees on the platform. However, long term, the team has to sustain itself, and will it be dumping tokens on the community? I don't know, this is yet to be seen, but I think it's a point worth mentioning. Another thing that I wanted to mention here is that if you go to their stake section, only around 22 million of the entire supply is staked. Currently the circulating supply should be around 500 million according to at least token unlocks. You can see this graph right here. However, if you go to something like CoinMarketCap, you'll see that circulating supply here is very different. Unfortunately, these websites are really bad at showing the fully diluted market cap and the full circulating supply, so I'm not sure which number I would trust. Probably this one where it says that half of the tokens are unlocked. Either way, whichever is true, still the number of total staked STG is extremely low compared to both numbers. And pretty much these people are deciding the fate in the DAO. I'm not an expert on DAO, far from it, but here you can see that you need around 2.5 million holders of the VSTG, which pretty much is the token for voting, but you gain it by staking your STG. And these people decide the fate of the project. I think this is a very small percentage of the people that are involved or own STG, myself included. Imagine if I'm just a simple guy that buys some STG. I'm not sure that I will first of all go through the trouble of voting, but also that my voting power will be enough. Probably there are people out there with a lot more tokens that are deciding what to vote for, and pretty much all the others have too little voting power to even matter. My final concern comes with the number of daily active users. This is a graph comparing Stargate to Synapse, which is another great bridge, and you'll see that Stargate for the past several months has been on a tear, but now it's dropping quite significantly while Synapse is going in the other direction. The numbers on Synapse are going up while Stargate is falling sharply. The main reason for this pump right here was the rumors of Arbitrum having a token airdrop once they decide to launch their token, and a lot of people, including myself, were farming the airdrop by using the Stargate bridge. So pretty much people were sending assets using Stargate to Arbitrum network to do some transactions there to be able to qualify for the airdrop. While Synapse didn't experience this, I don't know what was the reason behind this, but right now they're on pair, and in the past Synapse looks like it was having a lead on Stargate. So the question for me here is, are we going to see an uptick or actually a higher low here on this graph when it comes to daily active users, or this number will stabilize somewhere and we won't see any growth? That is one of the things that is really a big concern, and I'm going to be monitoring closely, and I'm going to be doing this together with the price action on STG. And pretty much my plan for now is to just wait and see. This token has very good exchange diversification. It's on Binance, it's on Coinbase, and also even Kraken has listed it. So definitely this is a good sign in my book. They did have some issues with liquidity with centralized exchanges, but I know that they're working on a way to solve this problem. But when you look at the price action, you'll be able to see that in the past several weeks, we have been on a tear. There has been a significant pump, and here from the breakout of this accumulation zone, we're up like 100%, and currently we're facing another level of resistance here around $1.20. There's a lot of indecisiveness here, a lot of wicks on the chart, which kind of makes it hard for good proper technical analysis. I'm not really going to rush into jumping into this token. If you look at the weekly chart, look at the number of green weeks here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green weeks in a row. And price at this point is pretty much going parabolic. However, there are also a couple of events that I'm concerned. The first one is the reissuance of the token. This in general is good for the project, but we have to see how it goes. And also we need to see what will happen with the token unlocks end of March and beginning of April. I'm still hesitant to jump into this token. To be honest, I probably will buy some. I need to see some accumulation. I don't want to be buying the top here. And if we see potentially another breakout pattern, or if we retrace back somewhere to these levels, so around $1, I will probably have a starter position, but I'm going to keep it light for now. Although I really like this project, I really think it has a massive potential in a bull run, and especially if the daily active users start going up, and together with the strong L2 narrative, we can see price go insane. I'm sure of this. No matter the tokenomics, no matter what's happening in the background, they do have a good project, and potentially I definitely see a pump of, let's say, 2 or 3x at least. This is their prior all-time high, and this token hasn't had pretty much a cycle. It does have some backholders from up here, and if price from here tries to get there, this is pretty much a 3x right now, which in a bull run I don't think it's unreasonable, and from there probably something around $10. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. And even if this thing dumps, you can see here there's a clear accumulation zone. Probably if we go below 50 cents, I'll be a little bit more hesitant, because we'll be back in this range, and this range here between 50 cents and 30 cents is quite significant, and potentially could signal that we're probably in an extended bear trend of crypto. So I'll be hesitant to be adding right here. But if we keep here in this lower range between $1 and 50 cents, I truly think this will be a sign of strength for the project. And if we get to around $10 when it comes to fully diluted market cap, this is around $10 billion, which I don't think is that unachievable. Currently, the tokens with around 10 billion are something like Solana, Dogecoin, Binance Coin, and this is still in a bear trend. And I think Stargate Finance has a lot of potential. Things like Litecoin here and TRX have 7 or 6 billion market cap, and I believe that Stargate has a lot more potential, first of all, but also a lot more utility than these two tokens. Let's see what is going to happen. I'm definitely very excited about this project, but as I mentioned, I'm also torn apart between the things that I'm seeing on the tokenomics side. Let me know what you think, guys. If you like Stargate Finance, if you have used it, and if you have any questions, you know how to find me.